Okay, welcome everyone to the World Peace Telesummit 2017. How quickly a year passes since our last one. This is Barry Bettman. I'm a professional certified coach and your host for today's call with Elaine. For the next hour, I will be helping to have everything go smoothly as many of you come on the call. And so if you haven't, plug in the earbuds in your headsets, maybe turn off your speaker phones. If you have any difficulty hearing, you can just hang up and connect in again. We're using a new platform this year, Zoom, so we can see each other. So now it's my distinct pleasure to introduce Dr. Elaine Christine, the host of the World Telesummit. She's been putting this on for a number of years, and today is World Peace Day. How beautiful is that? As the author of the Peace Prophecy Trilogy, Elaine Christine has a mission to bring peace to every mind. She earned a PhD in computer science from the Florida Institute of Technology, dedicated to uplifting humanity and to the new peace consciousness. She trains, certifies, and mentors peacemakers online. Joining us from Merritt Island, Florida, please help me welcome Dr. Christine.
Well, thank you, Barry. I am delighted to facilitate the peace process on the World Peace Telesummit. We are gathered to help celebrate the International Day of Peace and to strengthen the ideals of peace among people. All participants on this call are making a difference through the education and awareness of the 6-step peace process. Barry, can we take a poll to find out the gender of the folks on our call?
Absolutely. So let me launch the poll. On the system now, you'll see gender poll in progress. And you can just click on either male or female. While you're doing that, I'm going to send it back to Elaine.
Okay, well, while that poll is going on, I just wanted to share the peace process story. The peace process was inspired in 1998 after I attended a spiritual conference in Miami. Everyone seemed to want world peace, but nobody had a plan. I had the idea to run the thought of world peace on the 6-discipline model recently published in my textbook, Managing Risk. Developed with my husband, Tom Gorsuch, the 6-discipline model is a simple process model of the mind that can run any thought. I wrote world peace at the top and changed the generic process to a specific thought of peace and love. Later, I realized the process for world peace was the same as inner peace. The model scales perfectly from universal to personal. Okay, Barry, do we have the results of the gender poll?
Well, yes, we do. And it's skewed because it says it's 100% male as I share it. But that's because not everybody might have been able to vote. So the reality is we have 1, 2, 3. It's actually about 66% male and about 33% female at the moment.
Okay, very good. Because I know Tracy and I couldn't weigh in as the host, but maybe Tracy didn't get to vote. So, all right. Well, thank you, Barry. Now let's go through the 6-step peace process, which is color coded to the rainbow. I'll be asking questions as we go step by step on our journey to world peace. When you kind of raise your hand to answer, Barry's going to call on you and unmute your microphone. So we're going to begin with the Discover discipline, and it's symbolized by the color red. Okay, so we'll go through the rainbow so you keep track. This is step 1, discover the problem. And the first question is, why don't we have world peace now?
So just raise your hand, or you know what I could do? Let's just open up all the mics too and do it that way. That's another way to do it. We'll open up all the mics now. So who would like to participate?
Elaine, did I understand your question right? You say, why don't we have world peace now?
Yeah, why don't we have world peace now, Jack? What do you think?
I think we're actually doing pretty good. I'm not looking forward to the future because things are not looking very nice in the future. But you know, I have a different philosophy, different views of why world peace does exist or doesn't exist. You have seen some of my thoughts. I think in general, we're doing pretty good. I mean, although there's disturbances here and there, it will always be there. The one I'm concerned is really what's ahead for us. But for right now, I think we're holding up pretty good.
Thank you, Jack.
I have seen it worse, that's why.
Okay, well, I'll let Barry call on somebody else then.
See Brad. Hi, Brad. Welcome.
Hi, guys. So I think a lot of this stems from the large amount of fear and the lack of love. When people start to look beyond themselves and they start to, and they're not afraid of being vulnerable, being courageous, of loving someone, of forgiving someone, then regardless of whether they want to be in relationship with that person or that group or company or country or what have you, then they would have no war within, so there would be no war externally. So then if they have peace within, then they can have peace, we can have peace externally. So once we can have the proper education mindset tools for those people, then once they have inner peace, then we can have outer peace. But just not shooting each other isn't necessarily world peace.
Right. Thank you, Brad.
You're welcome.
Is that Tom's hand raised?
No, but we can call. Hey, Tom, you want to share?
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, you broke it up. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, you know, I think that there is currently, I don't disagree with comments so far, but there's currently a bias based on race and political view and religion of memory in the system. So people who have political system or religion and do some past transgression, they carry that harbor fear, and that it's a lot of angst and lack of. That's, I think, summary of the current situation.
Okay, we got most of that. There's a little digital breakup on that. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
And welcome, Tracy.
Hi, Tracy.
We can
Hi.
hear you. Here, let's give you a hug.
Woo!
World Peace hug.
Woo, I've been on my computer trying to make this work. Now I got on my phone, so I
You're
didn't.
here. You're here.
Could you hear me before? I thought I.
No, we hear you right now. Perfect. Welcome.
Okay, well, I'm just joining, so I don't know. I'll just listen
Okay.
for a few minutes.
No, Tracy, you're up. The question is, why don't we have world peace now? What do
Wow.
you think?
I think because there is a little too much hatred and judgment, and that's a whole other ball game. I mean, there's a whole lot of bullets that can go underneath that, but I believe that people have let hatred rise above the love. That's why I think so.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Tracy.
Great to hear you.
Thanks.
Love your smile too.
Thanks. I'm so happy to be listening and seeing and part of it. I was getting very frustrated. I'm like, oh, please, come on.
You're now connected.
Yay.
Yeah. So Tracy is actually one of the peacemakers, star of the peacetoeverymind.com podcast. So we're going to be rolling that out shortly. And so you can look for Tracy. She's the moderator, and she always puts a sparkle in every podcast.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. So, Barry, I'd like to weigh in about why we don't have world peace now.
Yeah, why don't we have world peace, Elaine, in your view?
Well, it's my fault. So I take all the blame, shame, and guilt, and I am officially transmuting it tonight to peace, love, and joy. So we basically have to shut that door on the judgment and claim inner peace for ourselves, because I think that we're just one thought away from inner peace, which, as Brad says, is what is needed to have world peace. We're just one thought away, right? So if we decide that that's what we're going to do, you know, then other people are going to, you know, join us because we've got smiles and sparkles, and we're going to have fun. So basically, the people that are not having fun are going to wonder what we're up to. And it's just basically us sharing the peace process, so that in any issue, any area of your life, we can bring you back from that little problem to expand your mind to back to a solution, a possibility, and just know that we're bigger than anything that could ever happen to us. So I think we're one thought away. So like Jack, I'm really excited.
I like that. I want to add, for me, something you just said that got me. We're one thought away. I heard somebody once say there's a slogan called "Give peace a chance." You know, there's a lot of language and verbiage around war and hatred, disgust, but there's not around peace. It's like it's not in our language, and so being able to have it in our language, be able to know what it is, opposed to all the war and hatred that we have in our language. So being able to have that one step away and shift our language patterns could really help.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's what we're going to do now, because we are on to step number 2, which is actually orange. So again, flowing through the rainbow. And the orange discipline is called envision. Okay, so for the envision discipline, it's really envisioning the solution, okay? And using our imagination, we can do this 180-degree turnaround and envision world peace. So now we ask the question, what does world peace look like now that we have it? So now we have to be able to conceptualize what it looks like so we know that we have it now. So whoever wants to weigh in, should we take the same order, Barry, or however you want to do that?
I'm going to open all the mics and see where it goes from there. So
okay. What does world peace look like now that we have it?
Everyone getting along. Everyone loving one another and sharing their individual love with everyone else. There's no judgment, no hatred. I believe that the vision that I have right now in my head is just beauty and calm and love. Love rules above all.
Awesome. I'm thinking that's a t-shirt, Tracy. Love rules.
Definitely. I have a rock that says love rocks.
Okay. Love rocks and love rules.
I'm hearing the song, the Beatles song, and I think it's all you need is love. I got that running in my brain from the Beatles.
Awesome. Yeah.
It's kind of true, you know? Love trumps all things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, for me, I guess, you know, I just want to jump in and say that the reason why I'm so excited to have love rule our lives is because there's no competition. There's no, you know, it's like there's collaboration, not competition. We are supporting one another. We're encouraging one another. We're bringing out the best in one another, and we're doing it together. You know, peer to peer, not a hierarchy kind of thing. It's just we go together with compassion. And I see, you know, some of the grandmas teaching the kids, you know, teaching their grandkids, you know, because we love our grandkids, and you know, maybe the parents don't have as much time, you know, but because there's enough baby boomers, then maybe it's our generation that needs to step in and help create the love and the caring and the teaching of the values, so that we don't lose that connection with our families. It's like up to the grandmas to host the reunions and make sure that the families stay together. That's my idea. That because the baby boomers, there's enough of us that, you know, we have some kind of, you know, majority here, that it's, you know, maybe our generation can really make that difference. Because we remember how it used to be before we were all on our devices. We need to reconnect with one another, like in a way where we touch and feel.
Yes, the elders of our human tribe.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And Brad, you have your hand up. Please share.
There's one particular teacher of enlightenment that I enjoy learning from. Her name is Lola Jones. She's a cowgirl guru, so to speak. She likes to have fun with it. But one of the things that I've been influenced by from her is that we have to keep in mind that everybody has different interests, everybody has different priorities, and those priorities can be adjusted. They can choose to change those priorities, but we can get to world peace way before we ever get to the point that everyone loves one another and everybody is sharing and collaborating with every single other person. Just because the amount of people that we have on planet Earth, the amount of backgrounds, the amount of things that people have come to this world to experience, it's unrealistic to expect everyone to kind of be the same. And so I'm not the person to say what's necessarily possible in the long run, or what's realistic in the long run, but if we're going to achieve anything that's going to be within even the next 100 years, it would need to be something that that people can deal with their crap relatively quickly, and that we have a priority shift as a species towards the enjoyment of life for us individually as well as for the community as a whole. So if we need to have instilled in us certain cultural priorities as well as certain systems to make sure that people are of the same general understanding, that they are going to, at the very least, give people the benefit of the doubt. If they do get upset, that they know what to do with that information, that they're going to step away, dive into their feelings, drop their stories, forgive others, that sort of thing. And that we have that ingrained into us, and we're not willing to accept from our governments ways that they're going to suppress and that they're going to go to war with each other, just because life is too valuable and we can't afford to go into war, whether it's individually or as countries. So just the there needs to be a priority shift, but we can have a world where we have many different experiences, where we have a lot of variety, where people get to experience certain things, but they don't do it in a way that it's destructive to themselves or others. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's good, Brad. I like it.
I think this is Tom. You hear me?
Yep.
Yep. Hi, Tom.
Hi. Yeah, I think that first you need some level of respect for each other before you get to kind of following on what Brad was saying, before you get to love for one another. But if you respect others as human beings, then you have a basis for communicating, and through communicating you can make forward progress. I'd also like to say that that war is expensive and peace is free. So just economically speaking, the more peace we have, the more abundance that we can have as a humanity, as a human race. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out as a vision, that there can be a lot more abundance for everyone when we get to that state of world peace.
Thank you, Tom. That was awesome. Have we heard from Jack?
No, not yet. I was just gathering my thoughts, Elaine. I have a view, maybe it's a little simplistic view, but like hot and cold, love and hate, abundance versus scarcity. Those are things that we all know and we have experienced it and we have lived through. And my view has always been, we are citizens of planet Earth and not of United States. The reason I'm saying that, because when you make the citizens of each country separated by borders, you are causing a sense of discrimination or a sense of segregation. And there is a reason behind that. There is a reason behind why we do that. Sometimes I wonder how much planet Earth has control over us versus us control over it, So for me, the strongest is good. Goodness is the strongest. So love is the strongest. Hate, although becomes strong for a while, goodness and love supersedes it. So at the end of no matter what happens, love takes over. It's a lot stronger. So knowing that, I'm really looking for future that some people analyze what we're talking about in the same model as a doctor or a medical science analyzes a bacteria or such things that affects us, how it affects us. So I always had the view this planet was organized and established the way it is, the way we see it, but we don't understand it. Although we know it, we study it, but we don't really truly understand it, how it impacts us. So I'm just hoping in the future we have more of a team to study the conditions, why and how nature and the laws of nature impacting us. So I'm just hoping that love supersedes hate and we do reach future peace and orderliness, so we have a much more abundance, as Tom said. Yeah.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
Barry, did you weigh in?
I did not, but I was, as I think what Jack said about planet Earth, I like that even better than the world. There's an interesting thing in the atmosphere. We're in a closed system, And if it's typhoons here, it's sunny there. And if it's snowing there, it's hot there. And I almost wonder sometimes if that's what world peace is. It's like get this balance, so things balance out in the ecosystem. And so it makes me ponder about this, Jack, about the Earth and the planet and the people, and like how it balances on the big picture. And then I guess if you look farther, how does even the planet balance between the whole solar system, which is a whole other story.
Yeah, I like the view that the astronauts have given us and all those space probes, because it's so huge and we are living on a blue-green marble.
Yeah.
It's just, the whole thing is a miracle. It's amazing. And so part of my envisioning is just to really feel the gratitude for the atmosphere that we can breathe, because I don't want to live in a spacesuit.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I guess it's probably time to go on to our step 3, which is yellow. And this is plan for peace. So what plan is? It's just one action step that we can take to make our vision come true. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is, what could you do to bring peace into your world? So Barry, I'll let you take the answers, but that's the question. What can you do? What's one thing that you could do to bring this vision?
I'll even kick it off, and then we'll maybe bring Paul and some other people on that are live. I mean, for me, it's love people one person at a time. Just do one little kind gesture, just one loving thing, one loving thought, one little piece, P-I-E-C-E, and let it ripple. So that's, Paul, I see you on the video camera. Welcome.
Thank you.
How about for you?
I'll chime in on that one as well. It's the one thing that we can all do, I think, is that's help people feel safer. When people feel safe around us, through our actions, through our body language, through the way that we treat them and respect them and show consideration and acknowledge their perspectives, and when we realize that people go to war with each other because they don't feel safe, I think helping people feel safer through whatever we do, and especially in these days when there's so much political disagreement, it's challenging. People get set in their ways, and one of the reasons they can't even listen to people who have a different perspective is because they don't feel safe. They don't feel listened to themselves. So listen to people, help them feel safer.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul. Well, I guess we have Tom weighing in next. Go ahead,
Sure.
Tom.
Sure. I'll just take the example of something new in the world is the social media. And I think through social media, you see a lot of information coming from a lot of individuals. It used to be the media came from a few individuals to many. Now it's many to many. But if you participate in social media, you'll see a lot of people putting out negative comments and negative thoughts, and they're propagating or forwarding or retweeting negative things. And those are, as each individual retweets or rebroadcasts some negative thought, they're doing that because they're having a negative thought, and then you have this huge cascade effect. So I think that phenomena has always gone on. It just went on in more like verbal person-to-person communication. But when you see it in the computer system, you can actually analyze, and you can say, look how many people propagated this negative thought. So I guess my input there is that if you, each individual can make sure that their thoughts are not negative and not propagate negative thoughts that come to you, not propagate them, then you're doing your part. You're doing a part, and that's something that I can do to help achieve world peace. Hopefully that made sense.
Thank you, Tom.
Yes, that makes sense, Tom. I'd like to add to that. I think it starts with the individual. Like Tom said, you can do your best to be positive or not spread the negative. But I think along the same lines, world peace has to start with the individual. You have to love yourself. You have to be kind to yourself. You have to respect yourself before you can do all of that to other people. And it's very simple. It's, a lot of times we make things more complicated than they really are. And I really feel like the simplicity of the mindset of taking care of yourself, being kind to yourself so that you can in turn take care of others and be kind to them. Do the random acts of kindness, or just a smile, or opening the door for somebody. I think I just lost you guys. Can you still hear me?
No,
Yep.
we can hear you.
You're good.
I think I off.
Yeah, you can call back in too, Tracy, if you have to.
We lost you there.
Okay.
Might be your connection. I think she was talking about the individual and the random acts of kindness, and it starts with us, opposed to you guys all have to create world peace. I think that's what she was getting to.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would just like to weigh in and say that one thing I can do is basically to bring my training to more people. So, I have this goal to train 10,000 peacemakers. Well, let's get started, because it is one person at a time. And as I stay aligned to my own, true values, then I have something really awesome to share. So to do that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And it's along the lines that Brad said, we need more training in how, to value, to prioritize and things like that. And prioritize how we process our emotions, help people understand how to do that. Maybe in the past when we were less connected, and not like now we're connected, but we're connected quickly. So we don't have as much time to think about things or to process things, and we need that training. So anyway, it's something I can do. So that's what I'm going to do.
And we're here to help.
Yes.
That's what we're here for, Elaine.
Yeah. Thanks, Jack.
That's my dream, to be able to understand the real process. Like we're talking about, first you have to find it within yourself. And what you find within yourself, you can share with others, but you can only share what you got plenty of for yourself. You cannot give others what you haven't got.
Yeah.
And the more you become enriched with this love and goodness, the more you're capable of sharing.
Exactly. So if everybody has an action step, then I'm going to go on to the fourth discipline, which is green. And this is your heart energy. So now we want to have just a time to take a breath. And our work is really a meditation. So the meditation, as I do this, is to think about what we have just done. We have discovered what's taking our peace, which is, some things in the world, and any of those judgments and things like that, and the love that, we feel is missing. We shifted just on this call, just within the last half hour, to an idea a vision, some really great ideas about how life has this value, and we're one small planet in a very, very, very large, universe, and we need to be in gratitude for our life and for the breath that we have, and to take responsibility and know that love rules, no matter what it looks like out there. So just to, I forget who said it, but maybe it was Brad, we need to deal with crap quickly, and not let it affect us. And when we have those priorities correct, then as Tom said, peace is a lot cheaper than war. My training will not be free, but it's a lot cheaper than being at odds with your relationships, right? So to invest in peace, right? And then everything that we can do on an individual basis, we have to start with ourselves and show consideration and acknowledge people, listen to them, and be kind. It's just one kind thing we can do for ourselves, and then one kind thing we can do for somebody else, and every day to do that. So as we work in harmony with ourselves, we'll know how to work in harmony with other people. And so I would, for the meditation, just like to share with you a poem that I wrote that's in the Peace Prophecy book, and it's called The Chalice. And so if you think of the Grail as being our brain, it really holds all of our thoughts. And the peace process is just one thought of sending peace and love to whatever is taking our peace. And so I call this the chalice. But if you can close your eyes and breathe, shining the love into the world, the planet Earth, as a citizen of planet Earth, this is what I wrote. And the shape of it is actually a chalice. So here we go, the chalice. Peace lives in harmony. Love lives in peace. God lives in love. I live in God. I love God. I love God. God is in creation. Love is in eternity. In space, there is peace. In time, there is harmony. So with that, you can open your eyes, and hopefully that felt good. And what we're going to do now with step 5, Barry is actually going to take a poll. And Barry, if you can do this poll, it's for the measure discipline. We want to measure with honesty how much love you had in your heart as we were doing this exercise. So Barry's got a poll there to find out how much love all of our participants sent. So we have, the first is no love at all. The second is some love. The middle road is my heart is half full. Lots of love. And the fifth would be all the love in your heart. I'm not allowed to vote, but I can tell you that it'll be fun to see what you have to say. So weigh in on that. And Barry, I'll turn it over to you to let us know what the poll results might be.
Yeah, so just let's give another second or two for people to vote on their system. You can go no love at all, some love, my heart is half full, lots of love, or all the love in my heart. Okay, so we're going to close the poll for now, and I will show the results. And the results are that we have 60% all the love in my heart, 20% lots of love, nobody with my heart is half full, 20% with some love, and 0% with no love at all.
Awesome. Well, that's fun. And that's the kind of thing, once we get to people understanding how to quantify, their feelings, right? Like how does it make you feel? Is it you have a smile on your face, or we didn't really shift anything? So any love is going to be more love. So we'll take it all. Thanks, Barry. All right. So the last step in this process is to value the time that we spent together. Maybe it's something that you learned in doing our peace process session. And the sixth step is like, the color is like indigo, right? So it's kind of like our energy is all the way up to here now. And when we ask the question, what's your takeaway from this session? Just the time that we spent together. We really want to get everybody's feeling on what was maybe important for them, or what are they going to remember or act on. So whoever wants to weigh in on that.
Well, I'm back. If you haven't noticed, did you see me? Can you see me?
Yes, Tracy.
It was my phone. My phone was like, the temperature of something popped up and said it's too hot, and then it just shut down. So I finally figured out how to get on my computer and see everybody. So I missed a little bit in there, but I am familiar with the process. And I forgot what the question was.
Okay, so yeah, so what's your takeaway from being on the call? What did you value? What are you gonna
I
remember?
value being back on with everybody. I value that. Finally figuring out persistence. I was persistent. I really value everyone's opinion on, because it just shows, just with the few people that we have, everybody has different ideas, grand, wonderful ideas for peace. And I really appreciate being able to listen to everyone and also speak my truth, or what I feel. So pretty much what did I say? I think I said I have a lot of love in my heart for it. So I just want to, give some love, share some love out to everybody. And thanks for listening. And I liked what everyone had to say, what I could hear. I missed a little bit in there. So anyway, sorry about the interruption of disappearing and coming back. But anyway.
Well, we're glad you're back, and we need your positive, uplifting energy. So, yeah. Okay, who else is going to weigh in?
I'll weigh in. The value for me is the opportunity to connect with other kind and loving people. A lot of great, peaceful, lighthearted, joyful, loving energy in the room today.
I second that.
Third.
I want to add to that. So interesting. One thing I notice is whatever state I'm in, when I hear somebody else that's in a slightly higher state of love and peace and vibration, I want to go there. And then it's this leapfrog, and it's like, and then all of a sudden it's contagious. And I think the same thing could happen the other way. It's crappy, it's crummy, it's hateful, so it goes the other way. But I think it's up to us to, raise the vibration. And then when we each do it, other people want more. I think it's a contagious phenomenon.
Yeah.
I second that.
Amen.
Yeah,
I love
really
that.
like
She goes,
that.
I second that, right? That means I peace that. I second that. Beautiful, Tracy. Love it.
I didn't mean to interrupt, Tom. Go ahead.
No, I just, same thing. I really like what you said there, Barry. And I think that it can take the energy from this call, and it helps as you go out into the world and help uplift other people. Starts with us.
Yeah.
Starts with me. Starts with me.
We're going to send it to Brad in 1 second. I just noticed, not in this moment, but I noticed something really bizarre, and tell me what you guys think. You're with somebody, you're in a group of people, or you're walking down the way. somebody's got a frown on their face, and you just go, you just put a big, you're not going to go hug them, but you just put a big, huge smile, right? And you look right at them, and pretty soon it's like it melts them and they shift. And then keep going. So I think this reminds me of the starfish story, about how do you save all the starfishes? Well, it's a one starfish at a time type thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Brad, we're going to mic you. Welcome. You're live.
So, I'm grateful that there are people that are wanting to be a part of this conversation, that want to work towards something as ambitious as world peace, and also that we are focusing on both the individual, like the micro and the macro. I think it's important that we learn to understand the systems that create the problems that we experience, because in the problem there's also the solution. So the same systems that create the problem, you can reverse the system to create the solution. So just the same as I was actually listening to a podcast that when we can monitor human behavior to something as small as you let somebody hold a cup of cold coffee or a cup of hot coffee, and they don't even know that they're a part of the experiment, and then you go and ask that person based off of a story as to, I'm sorry if this doesn't make too much sense, but essentially just based off of somebody holding a cup of cold coffee or a cup of hot coffee, half an hour later they're told a short story, and they're told to give their opinion of the person in the story, and they end up giving an opinion with like 80% accuracy to the direction of like 80% of the people that held the cold cup of coffee, they said that the person sounded cold. The people that held a warm cup of coffee, they said 80% of them said that the person sounded warm. So just like starting to understand the little things that start to influence us, helping people become aware of them, shift their priorities so that they realize this is really an important thing that they need to take control of in their own lives on a day-to-day basis, on a moment-to-moment basis, teaching them the strategies so that they can shift themselves when they need to, and just making that a part of our culture, making it a part of our world, so that we can just move beyond it. And this isn't even a thing that we need to talk about a few hundred years from now.
Wow. That's awesome, Brad. Thank you. I saw Karen Frank just joined. Welcome, Karen.
Hi. Just a minute. Oh, I'm off mute.
Yep.
Yeah. Hi.
Welcome.
I don't know anyone. I know Paul. Hi, Paul. And you, of course.
And you know Tom?
Where's Tom?
You remember Barry?
Yes, of course.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Barry.
Let me be the first to introduce you to a whole bunch of new friends.
Okay.
That's Tracy. She's one of the Peacemaker graduates. She's star of the PeaceToEveryMind.com podcast. She's its moderator.
Hi. Well.
Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Karen's in Costa Rica. So Karen, you want to weigh in on your peace vision?
I don't know where you're at with any of this. I just found your message and got in, so I don't know what you're even talking about at this point.
Well, we're wrapping up, but we want to hear your vision.
Okay.
For world peace. Yeah.
My vision for world peace. That's a lot.
Give us the quick version.
Well, there's all of us working together toward this. We all have our assignments, I call them. My assignment is helping to create a new paradigm of being on the planet. That came through at CEO Space in 2005 and was a little overwhelming. But that's been being translated into creating community on the physical plane, off-grid, sustainable, holistic, and green community prototypes to be duplicated worldwide. and they'd be sustainable and abundant. So we can see a world where, we can step out of the systems that have been created, the debt systems and everything else, and where people can live and work their purposes and their passions, and be at peace and have a lot of time to be creative. So that's part of it. There's a whole lot more we've been working on in so many ways, but coming in like this, all of a sudden, I'm like off the cuff. I'm like, I don't know what to say.
You're not usually at a loss for words, but we're just glad you made it. And, we will have the replay and everything. So you'll be able to hear some other great ideas maybe you can integrate into your vision. And I hope that you will bring me down and do some teaching in Costa Rica sometime for your conscious community.
Well, we're waiting on some funding. It's looking closer every day. Fingers crossed, prayers said. We'll be able to get moving a lot quicker. Everything's lined up and ready to go. And, it's everyone working together, doing their part, knowing that we can do this. I mean, we see so much negative going on in the world, but for everybody that there is just as much positive. We just don't see it broadcast by mainstream media. So there's a lot of great stuff going on. There's many people out there I've met working to do exactly what I'm working to do, and we're starting to connect and work together. So together we can do this.
Absolutely. Thank you, Karen, so much for weighing in on that. I think we might have missed a few other people. Barry, who do we need to get their take on the value of our session tonight?
I don't know. We'll open everybody's mic up and just double check that. Anybody else want to share? All your mics are open. Jack, how about for you?
The only thing I'm really hoping, and I hope I can do something about it, is the news media. The news media is feeding us so much negative stuff that it is really a counter world peace force that is out there. And I'm just hoping they get the message also, Elaine. I hope you have an influence over them.
Well, Jack, I will definitely see what I can do to get on some talk shows and broadcast our podcast.
Great, thank you, Jack. And so, as a reminder, I think we have a few bonus gifts, and you want to talk about that a little?
Oh, yes, of course. So, I have a peace process worksheet that can guide you through the 6-step peace process, and you can use it in your personal and your professional life. So to get your worksheet in a PDF format, Barry has this link in the chat box, and you can copy and paste it into your browser. So what you can do when you look at it, I've got a little yellow sticky note attached, and really you can apply it in 5 areas of your life. So first, your career, your job and things like that, whether it's a coworker, your boss, or whatever issues at work. The other thing is, finances and anything surrounding a lack of abundance. We need to expand that mentality. The third thing to apply it in is your health. So whatever issues you might be having, or even for somebody else, sending love to other people is a form of powerful love and prayer. And then the other thing is your relationships. Yeah, your health and your relationships. So once you've got yourself under control, then you want to go into a mutually beneficial relationships and express your love that way. So family, friends, everybody. The world is just waiting for more of your love. And of course, the last place to apply this is to a renewed purpose and passion for your life, and rejuvenating and restoring, and going on retreat with me somewhere, perhaps. But anyway, and as
you also
go ahead, Barry.
Also, please say and share the actual URL. I've put it in the chat, but just so it's on the audio and the video.
Oh, sure. It's http:// thepeaceprophecy.com/peace process worksheet. And as a special bonus, you can access the replay of this call at www.drelainechristine.com. That's drelainechristine.com. And that will help open your heart and mind for world peace. And Barry, now it's time for our closing circle. So let's take a moment to bow our heads in prayer. Thank you, God, for this time together and for those who are connected on this call. We are grateful for your forgiveness, Lord, and we ask your grace, mercy, and love to help us create a healthy, prosperous, and peaceful world. Amen.
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 Thank you for your participation and partnership and peace, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Peace out.
Bye.
Peace.
Love and light.
Love and light, Karen. Peace and love.
This completes the 2017 Amazing World Peace Telesummit. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.